Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is Tuxedo Ian. We are getting back to our playthrough of Book of Hours. We are into our third year of the game at this point, so let's dive in and see what we can get done. We're starting to make some progress into going down into the lower portions of the house, into the caverns from the dawn period, and we've opened up most of the Curcubit at this point. I think we're going to see if we can get the last couple rooms in there done pretty quickly. So, with that said, here we go. Everything is remembered, Hush House endures. So we have spring has just started. We have our yearly stipend from St. Bronwyn's Trust arriving, along with the usual rather sniffy reminder that I should spend it wisely. We have an iron spintria and a £1 note. We have another visitor coming on the affair of the unfinished lark. For 3 years, the sculptor adept Zuthalim Zidane has labored at his masterpiece, an abstract sculpture that speaks with the voice of the desert lark. And now, puzzlingly and suddenly, he is dead. Magister Huckabald planned to savage Zidane's work when it was, as he hoped, sold for scrap. Agdistus wrote a memorial piece for Zuthalim Zidane. Madame Bichet learned enough that she hoped to persuade a wealthy patroness to purchase the unfinished lark and save it from being sold for scrap by the authorities. And Dr. Blackwood found something that convinced her that Zidane has used yeast metal in his work. Which, as she said, the Suppression Bureau would not be happy about. So we got our weather for the day. We have some fog to start off this spring. We have a couple of things that we are reading. Let's see. We are reading another book for mastery. Yep. So today we're going to try and get into this ravaged cellar here. So we need 13 forge, 13 scale, or 13 winter. Well, we can definitely get the winter easily enough. But we actually also have Mrs. Kill, so the midwife's assistant. We can do 12 heart down here, 12 grail there. So I think what we'll do is we'll have her try and open up this wing-haunted cave. Because the first thing we can do, we can give her an Arab. And that will get her to 4 grail. And then we can come over here to our shelves and we can read a Newman. We can read our copy of The Sun Disfigured. And that will give her another 5 grail because this Newman gives 5, so that will put her at 9. So we need to find 3 more grails from somewhere. We can find 1 more from the spice scales, so we need 2. And if I remember correctly, Domaine Raveline, yes, Domaine Raveline has 2 grail on it. So that will be enough to get her to 12 grail, so we'll pour out a glass of that. And we'll find out what's in this new room down here. The Wing-Haunted Cave. A drunken whirl of bats drives me back. Perhaps literally drunken. There's a faint but definite brandy smell. Not sure what we're going to need. Well, we do have part of what we need to get into that room, and I'll demonstrate now. Because we did get some levels of Lockworks and Clockworks. So it's now up to level 4. And, thankfully, we have the ability to use it here in the forge. And we can, with 7 knock, we just need 5, we can blend acids to make a paradoxical knock ampule. Lockworks and Clockworks with Prentice level knock creates amethyst ampule. Or for a scholar level recipe, if I add glass, I'll create a knock alloy of interest to the most ambitious clockmakers. And Clockworks, as you can see, also crafts an awakened feather if we use 5 sky, but we're not there yet, and we're not really interested in making an awakened feather. We want to make this amethyst ampule. So we'll start with that. As to what the second thing does, that's what it will make this Gervanite that we found down here. As you can see, it is a alloy similar to a clockmaker's Ingvar, but instead of a constant weight, it retains the same origin in every history. over here at the Practic Garden Dummy, we have created a winning move. Those who study the Hours of the Edge often say the world is a war, the co-rivality. Every event that might happen differently is a battle in that war, a contention between alternate outcomes. The wisdoms can sometimes show those battles might be won. So then if we add the winning move, and if we can get to 15 edge, we can make an invincible authority. So we need we need 4 more points of edge from somewhere. So we can do another memory, but I'm not sure where we would get. Let's see, what do we have? None of these have edge on them. So for now, we just might have to hold the winning move and wait until we can use it for something. If we could only get somebody... Hopefully our visitor will be able to teach us how to read. Our next visitor will be able to teach us how to read Hyksos. So we can actually use that winning move to read the Ascendant. Or possibly watch that last film that we haven't watched yet. So let's see. Okay, so there's Mrs. Kill. Eagerly we anticipate our work. And we'll give her some Domain Raveline. Actually, let me look at my other... So this gives Winter, Knock, and Scale. This one gives Scale, Moth, and Heart. So neither of those give the edge that we need. And we have finished reading this book, The 12 Letters on Consequence, Julian Costley's epistolary treatise on what may come after, addressed to his once friend Claude Hersault, the mystic and antiquarian. We have learned a memory of regret and a lesson in putrefactions and calcinations. By the time he wrote these letters, Costley was identified with the onero-political worms movement, and Hersault with the birds, meaning roughly that Hersault held the Order of the Hours to be desirable, and Costley held it to be oppressive. Many of Costley's arguments about consequence and finality are couched in erudite and practical alchemical terms. Others appear to be thinly veiled threats directed at Hersault. Some are both. And in case anybody has never encountered the word before, oneric, as it says, as we see here, onero-political, oneric refers to things that happen in dreams, aka things involving the mansis in this context. So we will mark this with Memory of Regret. And add it to our red shelves up here. Alright, let's see. Who's coming to visit? Mademoiselle Margot Matune. Socialite, yachtswoman, and under the name Morgan, an Alucite, a Lygian. The former means, among other things, that she eats people. The latter means, among other things, that she is not to be taken lightly. Well, she knows how to read Kilisimi, but we've already learned that. She also knows Phrygian, Greek, Latin, and she prefers sky food and drink, at least in polite company. So we will let Mademoiselle Margot chill for just a minute while we finish up boosting up Mrs. Kill. And yes, we'll discuss one of the great mysteries of the world, a Newman, with a simple coffin maker's wife. We have made an amethyst ampule. Were it released from the glass, it would be quite another color. It has its uses, but none of them are simple, and few are safe. Now you'll note that this is 2 knock, 2 heart. It's a liquid, but it is also glass. Lucent and fragile, even sand may someday be the eye of rock. So now what we can do, we can come back into this, with Lockworks and Clockworks one more time. We can add this ampule, and we can add a shaft, and then we just need to find one more point of knock, which we can do with this occult scrap, since that is a reusable thing for us now. So, and we're going to need to use it up since we're going to get another card from Mademoiselle. So we'll use this up, and with 10 knock and some glass, we can make Gervanite. Resolve a knock alloy. Lockworks and Clockworks with scholar level knock plus glass creates Gervanite. So we'll set that to working. And let us see here. What else can we start working on so we're not just spending time here? We can probably, we can read one of our winter books here. So we have Ragged Crossroads. We have that one, which gives Serpents and Venoms. This one, which gives more Putrefactions and Calcinations. So, since we already have one of those, we'll go ahead and read The World Does Not Weep. Just stack up the Putrefactions and Calcinations with recipes. So we need something with winter. We need 10 winter total. We can just use Inks of Containment for that. Let's see what else. What other winter skills do we have leveled up? Just that one. The others, well, we have Quenchings and Quellings, which gives 6. Not quite enough. We'll just use Inks of Containment and one of our Whist. And we can master this mystery. This book, Brown Joshua found this in a well in Hamath. There's an unlikely story it was abandoned by Alexander during his retreat from Issus. It's from the Solar Gothic period, so if it was abandoned by Alexander, it laid in the bottom of a well for a very, very long time. Right, and we're just about done talking with Mrs. Kill about a memory. Memories don't last long outside books, but it has made a difference for the day. And finally, we will give her the spice scales to increase her abilities. And yes, I know, I could have used the sacrament we have up here, Sacrament Calcite. Back in the Dawn period, the Sisterhood of the Triple Knot used this in the Rites of the Red Grail, because it is 6 Grail. However, that's a little bit of overkill, since we were able to get her to 12 without using it. Now, if we have something that needs like 13 or 14, yes, we definitely want to use that in its place. Tomorrow, I think we will get Mr. Kill to open that Ravaged Cellar for us. The rest of today is going to be busy talking with Mademoiselle Margot. Alright, so that has boosted their aspects. We can now take Mrs. Kill and send her to the Wing-Haunted Cave. Yes, here's some spice scales. Go clear out all these bats. They must think we're nuts. But we'll talk to Mademoiselle. Perhaps I should call myself Saphir, hein? Hello, my librarian. I have become a patron of a project so delightful. A book with as much mystery sky as their sky interest. You heard the news about Zidane, no? So sad. But happily, his work remains intact. I would see it completed, and so I come to learn. Try a book with as much mystery sky as her sky interest. Well, we can give her this book about the Sisterhood of the Knot and the foulness of their depraved customs. Or we actually have the Journal of Thomas de Wolfe, which is low sky. So we'll do that one first. This is what I need. It is always such a pity, the end of an artist. Let us hope he did not die in vain. So we'll give her that and get another card from her. Just remembering what all these give us. Okay, nothing really surprising there. We did meet Mr. Costley back in our first Numa, so I wonder who's going to show up when the next Numa comes around. Alright, and so this now, with Keeper level knock, Gervanite is the essential ingredient of a Chronos cord. What's a Chronos cord, you may ask? Well, we don't quite have the knock available to find out just yet. Or maybe we do. Let's see. We add Lockworks and Clockworks. Already shapped. That gets us to 10. Curious Hunch gets us to 14. And if we had some fuel that had knock ability... So we need actually just a regular... If we had a regular shaft, we could do it. But with that maladied shaft, we're not going to be able to. So we'll hold that for another day. When we have a regular shaft that's unfatigued. It's not like it's going anywhere. And... So let's see here. We actually can start planning for another... I think we should start planning for a salon tomorrow. Yes, so let's see. Who do we have that we can invite? Because we can actually start writing out things now for that. So let's see. We're going to want Father Stanislav, so we need something with nectar. We need nectar skill. So insects and nectars can't go in there. Rites of the roots can't go in there. Leaves and thorns can't go in there. Oh, I think I know when. Stone stories can, though. Yep, so we can invite Father Stanislav. That's one. And he likes heart food and drink. Yep. Now I just need to post it. So let's, before we write any more invitations, let's see and make sure we have heart food and drink available. So yes, we have a half pitcher of water, so that gives us some water for him to drink. So we can set that in here. And then we need something with heart. Yes, we have a game pie. We also have this jugged pheasant, marinated roast beef, a molly au jus, a roast pheasant. All of these things have heart in them except for the grape salad. So we can just leave these, we can leave these 4 actually on the table. And we'll move these other ones up here to use this area as our food storage area. Because if we leave extra stuff in the area, it will be consumed. And we don't want to just have everything get it. Alright, so we have a heart drink. And we need one more dish. So let's actually just throw in some almonds. Because we can put that as a side dish, and those were cheap enough. We can always order some more. So, yeah, so this gives us a side dish. We have a first course and a side dish. We have a main course. And we have a pudding. And we also have a first course and side dish with the grape salad. So let's see, what other things do we have here? So we can do forge or moth. We can do moth or scale, or heart or moon. We can do heart, rose, scale, sky, or forge. We can do grail, heart, moon, or nectar. We can do grail, nectar, or rose. So let's take a look at who's in our address book to invite. So we could do Arthur Moore. He likes lantern food and drink. We don't have any of that, so we do have Peel, who likes moon food and drink. So we can actually go to a heart desk down here for that. We can write an invitation to Dr. Peel. We can use Edicts Inviolable for that. And we can request Peel's presence. So that's moon. Alright, Mrs. Kill has finished her work. That's 2 people for our salon. Morgan, Mademoiselle Motine Matutine hoped to complete Zidane's work, and at Hush House, or so she believed, she found what she needed to do so. Alright, so... And we received her card, so now we can put that into our address book. Saphir, Marseille, expresses interest in Grail and Sky books and affairs. She prefers Sky food and drink, at least in polite company. You know what? I think we'll go ahead and invite her back as well. So for her, we need 7 Grail. So let's open up our Grail desk up here. Add our writing case, and we need 7 Grail. Well, we have 7 Grail from Resurgences and Emergences, so that lets us request Morgan's presence. We could also request Olymp's presence. So yes, we'll do Morgan. So we need Sky food and drink. We have Sky food already. Yes, we have the roast pheasant. We just need a Sky drink. And we need a moon drink. Well, we have the water, so that's moon and heart. We just need something with a Sky drink. I think we might have to look around. Let's see what we've got down here in the basement. We've got some Roast Kragan whiskey. That's not Sky. Domaine Reveille, no. Slosh Jannings, no. Big, no. Dandelion wine, no. Oh, that's right. We do have some Sky drink. We just have we have the blue crown tea works as Sky drink. So we'll put that onto our table. And then we need some more water for Dr. Peel. Alright, we finished reading The World Does Not Weep. Learn 2 lessons on putrefactions and calcinations and a memory of hindsight. The unknown adept who wrote this proclaims, "The world forgets, but the ivory dove does not." The text contains a number of prescriptions for ensuring that certain acts are remembered, including a rite which requires a sacrifice in a particularly monstrous mode. The Hours tried to bury the memory of what happened to the wheel, the flint, the tide, and the 7-coiled, but the dove won't permit it. Nor will he permit what happened to the first egg to be forgotten, although it is perhaps the one thing the watchman might ever forgive. So we can mark that down with memory of hindsight. And move that to our completed shelf up here. So let's see. What do we have as far as putrefactions and calcinations is winter or moon? So if we wanted to do moon, we could add that to Pearl and Tide. We could add it to Insects and Nectars. Could add it to Edicts Martial, Serpents and Venoms, Desires and Dissolutions, Trides Mahera. Got quite a lot of... I think it would probably be best... We need more nectar power, and this Insects and Nectars is probably going to be our best way to go about that. So we need 4 nectar or moon memories. Well, we have the fog we can use. We have the memory hindsight we can use for something else. So we can do at least 1 into Insects and Nectars, probably 2. So we'll need, to start off, we'll need 4 moon or nectar skills. Or memories, rather. So we'll do our good old standby, a 7th voice. The pages of that one have got to be getting increasingly torn and twisted at this point. The Book of the Centipede, that's 2. And plus fog gives us 3. And Then we can come over here, and the sea does not regret gives us also moon, so that will be our 4. So let's see now. So Mrs. Kill has finished her work down here. Smuggler's Den. In the last years of the 18th century, the DeWolf line ended and the estate lay empty. Enterprising smugglers spread rumors of the ghosts that walked the Isle and quietly brought their tea, brandy, and tobacco in through the old mines on the seaward side of the Isle. But the remnants here are much newer than the 18th century. Perhaps even after the Curia took possession, they permitted the smugglers to use this place. Ambrose Westcott did love his baccy so. Perhaps even the Suppression Bureau found the smugglers useful enough to turn a blind eye. So we found some more dandelion wine, 2 more bottles of Schloss Jannings, 2 more bottles of Domaine Raveline, and another bottle of Lambic Brocleand. We found some forsaken packages. They plead mutely to be opened. No one else ever cared to. A bottled candle, an admirable combination of 2 utterly disparate elements. Quite genius. Grail and lantern, as well as being a candle and a light, so we can see, or so we can celebrate. Candles generally burn brighter, but we generally burn longer. And a crate of supplies, something helpfully set helpfully aside. So this is something we can open. So let's see, let's use a metal to open that. Crack open the container, delight in your discovery, something handy. And we also have finished reading our invitation to Morgan. So we have, that gives us 3 people for our salon. We need 2 more. So let's see. We'll come over here and use our Solomon's desk. Let's click. Alright, so we can do... Let's see, who else would be interested? Connie? Yes, we can probably do Connie. We could do Connie or Yvette. Actually, I think we'll do... let's see, Connie likes Sky food and drink. Okay, so she's already covered. So we can just use another glass of water for her. So we can put this other half pitcher of water in for her. And we have Sky food in the roast pheasant. And last but not least, let's see. Do we want Connie? No. Oh, do we want Yvette? No. Let's see. We can do Olympe. Let's see what she can tell us. Or we could do, I guess that would get Adistus or Serena, but I think we want Olympe, so we need something with Moth. Inks of Revelation will do. We can invite Olympe, who wants forge food and drink. So I think we had something with forge on it already in there. Yes, the almonds have forge, so we just need a drink with forge. Which we can put... I think we have some coffee here somewhere that does forge. Some tea. Yes, we have Evening Isles coffee, so we'll make a pot of that. So Trist, bring water to the boil, permit the potential here to express itself. Because our other coffee is lantern-based, if I remember correctly. We also have this second flush of Somme, which gives us edge, lantern, and knock if we need it. Alright, so there's our invitation to Olympe. So we have all 5 of our invitations written now. So tomorrow we will get started posting them when day comes around. So let's see. Before we lose it, let's see what we can do with this winning move. Let's find something with... Okay, so the Edict's Marshal. We know we need a leaf, and that would make Perinculate. Disciplines of the Hammer. Let's see what it can make down here. So we'll add the winning move. Oop, wrong one. Add the winning move. And we'll add a metal. So that one just would make another winning move. Disciplines of the Scar. We would need to add something with the leaf aspect to brew a dangerous ink. So that also makes Perinculate. Let's see, whereabouts is a place that can take edge and leaf? Can we do leaf up here? No, we cannot. Unless it's a material. That one can take flowers, but not leaves. Edict's Marshal is also moon. So could we apply that here? We could apply Arab. And we cannot apply... We need a... Remains or no, so we can't do it there. Let's see, does this one... Could we do it here? Could we sneak it in here? If we could find something that's a flower, it's flower and leaf. But I don't know that something like that exists. Or at least off the top of my head. So let's see. Other things we have with edge on them is Sickle and Eclipse. So we'll test Sickle and Eclipse and see what we can get with that. So Sickle and Eclipse with Arab gives us a labyrinthic tincture. Meniscate Reflections makes Torg's Cleansing. Ragged Crossroads makes a labyrinthic tincture. Sharps makes Torg's Cleansing. And that's all of the edge skills we have. So if we want to save that, we'd probably have to make another winning move that would carry over to the next day. We might start that in just a minute. Alright, so we're progressing with our memories there. We'll go ahead and turn speed up a little bit. Steam and scent both rise. It's ready. Evening Isles Coffee. Coffee from beyond the sunset sea. And we just need to serve that. We poured it out into a cup. We'll put the pitcher here, and we'll go grab that cup. Because if anything that we can't fit in our inventory gets deposited on the outside of the house. And we'll drop this cup here in the servants' quarters. Move the pilchards back over here. And there are our 3 memories we need, along with the fog. We found some glue, a substance that ensures the continued proximity of things to other things. Forge and nectar. Interesting. So we will grab insects and nectars. We will grab the fog, a lesson, And 1, 2, 3 more memories. And then we need either heart, or we need either nectar or moon, so we can use a health for that. So we need 4 memories for the next level. We need 4 memories, so we need 5 memories for the next level of insects and nectars. So moon and nectar. So we can do 7th voice. We can just repeat those 3. Book of the Centipede. See does not regret. Let's see, then we need... we can do Victory of Crowns. And then last but not least, we can do Ambrosial to get nectar. So let's see, down here we have 11 forge or 11 scale. That one will definitely need Denzel to do. Or we could try and hire a miner and see if we can get him leveled up. So Insects and Nectars is now level 5. And there is a specific reason that I'm using Insects and Nectars over any of the other nectar skills. Mainly because it's moon, so that's easy enough to find any memories for. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 memories. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a lesson. And another health. And last I'm something of an authority in this. Oh, that's right. So let's see. So do we want to... Is it possible for us to save any of those before the night ticks over? So we could keep the hindsight, or we could keep the regret. I don't think we'll need either of those, but we'll keep the regret just in case we need a point of forge for something. This day's ticking over now. Let's see what we've got to work with. We have clouds. Well, that saves us finding another memory of moon. So we can start reading, and this time we'll just use our unexhaustible bits because we have all day to do this, and we're going to need our soul fragments for the Salon. So we'll do those 2 there. We'll do See Does Not Regret here. And we'll do Victory of Crowns up here. In Illopolis Nook. And we'll go and post our... That gives us 5 memories, so we'll just need 1 more. This one is almost done, so it'll be at level 6. Yeah, so we need... So we'll go ahead and start posting our invitations, because those do take time to go out. Stamp, envelope, send. Postmistress examines the letter and deems it sufficient. It'll go with the next post, she assures me. Dear Mademoiselle Mottine, Dear Mademoiselle Bechet. Dear Dr. Peel. Okay, Insects and Nectars is now level 6. The hive, the nest, and the chrysalis are the 3 secret principalities of the lesser worlds. 2 of those 3 know the temptations of sweetness. And finally, Dear Dr. Southey. Stamp, envelope, send. So there's our memory regrets that we may or may not need. So let's see. We have do we have everything we need? We have 5 drinks. We have 5 foods. We have all 4 courses. So we have everything we need for our salon to begin. We just have to wait until midday because it is a formal dinner. So we can wait until day is halfway over before we start that. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 memories. So we have the clouds as well. So we just need 1 more nectar or moon memory. So we can do ambrosial, gets us our nectar. By the time that's finished, our guests should be starting to arrive. Morning, the 3rd hour when the office of terse once was sung. Watch as the day opens like a door. Did Father Stanislav receive my invitation? Morgan received my invitation. Did Olymp receive my invitation? Did Peel receive my invitation? Did Yvette receive my invitation? Alright, and so we will just wait for this memory to finish, and then we can upgrade. Because we know we're not going to need health in the salon. That's the one soul fragment that it never will ask for. And if we need any extras beyond what we've already got, we have plenty of skills that we can slot into the tree. Midday. Before the Great Division, this was the 6th hour, when the priests led hymns to the sun and splendor. Now noon, as they say, is not as it was. Perhaps the new king will change that. Alright, so there is our 6th memory, so we will start Insects and Nectars upgrading. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 memories. Actually, we had, yep, so we had all that we needed. And a health. When I thought I'd understood, I'd only begun. So now we'll come over here, and we will ring the bell. The room once where the Curia met, a fitting venue for a salon. Here one might serve lunch in the afternoon or supper in the evening. A good host will provide at least 1 first course, 1 main course, 1 side dish, and 1 pudding. My guests take their places for lunch. Keep an eye on the salon as it progresses. You'll need to add soul cards to encourage the conversation to flow. Different guests will need different soul cards. The more guests, the longer the salon will last. So, let us see what we can learn today. Lunch and supper last longer than less formal salons, allowing an extra interaction between your guests. Say something witty. Add a shapt card. We're having a lively conversation. Olymp asks frankly if Morgan wished to become Alucite, and if not, whether there were any steps she might have taken to avoid conception. Morgan shivers with amusement. Is it only amusement? It is and observes that Olymp never did understand the Grail, that it's no wonder Olymp chose another path. Lesson, resurgences and emergences. Well, yeah, that's definitely... yes, because remember, what turns them Alucite is they eat their own children. So next up, we have... what next? Mansus Tales. Ask about dreams. Add a Fet card. Aaron and Yvette began with a serious philological discussion, the similarities between Hinavak and Vak. But the conversation has devolved into something more like gossip, comparing the virtues and charms of Vak and Hinavek as if they were individuals. Aaron mentions the tradition that the two languages are brother and sister. It would be a shame, wouldn't it, if they were? Yvette responds archly. If they were brother and sister, nothing unsuitable could occur between them, surely. Aaron's whole face creases in an unusually fervent smile. So this is one way that you can learn, even if you haven't gotten tutored by somebody, you can still learn lessons, because she knows Hinavik, and so we're getting a lesson in Hinavik. And this is also the only way to get lessons that will teach you languages or be used for upgrading languages directly. Say something witty, add a Shapt card. Though we really don't need to upgrade Hinavik, so we'll probably assign that to something else. Because Hinavik is Forge and Scale, and we've already read, I think, most of the books that are in Hinavik. So. Yvette questions Stanislav about the Carniolan heresy, which perceived the moon as a chrysalis and the sun as its imago. Stanislav is entertaining on the details of the heresy, but finds himself unable to enlighten Yvette on its motives and origins. So we've got another lesson on insects and nectars. How lovely! That will allow us to get this to level 8. Nectar power all the way. What next? Conversation ebbs and flows. Lively chatter. Add a little gaiety. Inject a little gaiety. Add a core card. Yvette and Stanislav chat about the notorious erotic occult novel Eteri After, which Yvette considers flimsy and Stanislav considers saucy. Inks of Containment. Well, we already have that at 8. So we could bump it up to 9, or we could find some other place to spend that last lesson. Well, we might go ahead and make it at level 9, just to have 10 winter on something in case we need that. And make it extremely easy to make Delicant. Energetic Exchanges. Add an Arab card. Spice up the conversation. Yeah, pride and compassion, hatred and fear. That would certainly spice things up, all right. Olymp asks Stanislav about the Pontine yew of legend, and then about the honey of its flowers, which opens a door to another place. He has tasted the honey, but he will say of that place only that it is not the Mansus. Lesson on Rights of the Roots. It's nice while having Stanislav around, he can get us nectar lessons fairly easily, which are otherwise hard to get. What next? Lively conversation. So we need a Shapt card. So let's go to our skill web and see what we can do, because we know Shapt comes from Skolakoscopy and Nyctodromy. So what do we have that we can put into Nyctodromy? We need something that's at least level 4 of Nyctodromy. Strings and songs can go in there. Would get us a Shapt. Words are the way through the sky, and a song without words is no song at all. Nyctodromy is the wisdom of ways. We could also assign this to Bird Song, which would get us another core. There are no words in the Song of Birds, so Bird Song had no beginning and will have no end. See, what else can go over here that we may not want to? Yeah, that's probably our best bet. Or we could also see, I think Skolakoscopy does shaft as well. So we could do lockworks and clockworks, which would give us shaft. Of locks, the locksmith's first duty, a key for every lock and a lock for every key. If a key were an hour, what lock would it open? Skolokosophy might hold the answer. This can also go in ithistry. Of clocks, the clocksmith's first duty, when the time comes, the device should speak its purpose. Since the sun was sundered, noon is not as it was. Perhaps if we found the true hour of noon, we'd know how the sun might return. Ithistry might give us that answer. Well, we are going to want to level lockworks and clockworks up more, so we'll wait to assign it, but strings and songs is doing fairly well as it is, and at most we'll probably want to put one more level into it. So we can go ahead and assign it to Nyctodromy, which will also open up this next level of hushery here. So words are the way through the sky, and a song without words is no song at all. Nyctodromy is the wisdom of ways. So we'll assign that, and we get some shaft. And back to our salon. And having another shaft is probably not a bad idea anyway, because we only had 2 plus the maladied one. Morgan repeats half-remembered fragments of Ramsund that the wind brought her when she was sailing. Olymp translates them for her. So a lesson in Ramsund. Have we assigned Ramsund? No, we have not. So that'll actually let us level that up a little bit so we can assign it somewhere. So useful for that at least. Innovic we've already assigned, so we can assign that. And it'll give us a lesson with scale on it, so that will let us level up one of our scale skills. A lively meal concludes. My guests leave happy. You've gained an additional potent memory. So we'll collect all of our soul cards here. Our visitors are departing. We have a lively salon. You've held a lively salon. This is a marker to remind you you can't hold another one until next season. We got a memory of satisfaction. Another curious hunch, which we already had. A lesson in Ramsund. A lesson in rites of the roots. A lesson for insects and nectars. Some inks of containment. Hinnovic. And resurgences and emergences. So, let's actually take a look here, because we definitely want to use that Hinnovic lesson on something that gives us scale power. So let's find what our highest level scale. Inks, we could do it with inks of power, the inks in which the histories are written. But we also know that we need Heal and Hollow to make an earthquake name, if we remember from the Curcubit prisoner records. So I think we'll assign it to that. So we need 4 memories of either scale or moon. Well, that's going to be simple. So we can do moon. We can do moon here. We can do moon. And again, or actually we can go up here. And do moon. So that's 4 moon memories, so we'll be able to upgrade Hill and Hollow to level 5, make it make it slightly closer to where we'll be able to make an earthquake name. Night has fallen, dawn will come soon. And we might need that memory of satisfaction for something tomorrow, for resurgences and emergencies, if nothing else. So we'll hold on to that for the night. We should finish reading our books just before day breaks. There go our visitors. They're departing, so they're not going to want to talk to us. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we will grab Hill and Hollow. Apply the Lesson of Hennevic and 1, 2, 3, 4 memories and a health. And so satisfying to have come so far. Improve this skill to level 5. We could also probably use... Actually, Inks of Containment is high enough as it is. So we'll use that lesson on Inks of Containment to level up Hill and Hollow even more. Oh, hi there. So we've got a gale today. Trees bend, walls creak, travelers bend low against the blast. Oriflammes, established 1776. Sense, Science, Sciences. Dear Librarian, we'd often like to offer you the opportunity to purchase. The Humors of a Gentleman. Samuel Savage's satirical comedy on the intrigues of the ailing but cunning John Sonne, his mistress Madeline, her lover Leo, and the upstart Corvina. 4 Sky, and it would give us Sky Stories. Well, we've already assigned Sky Stories, but we can use that to upgrade Inks of Power at the very least. So, might as well. It's only 3 Spintria. We have a gold Spintria, so we can do that. Oriflammes thanks you for your custom. Okay, and so we are going on just about an hour now. We finished 2 days, including a salon, so we didn't really have all that much going on. So what I will do is we will go ahead and start studying for our 4 memories, or 5 memories for the next level of Hill and Hollow here. So we can do 1, Moon 1, Moon 2, Moon 3, Moon 4, and we would need 1 more, either Moon or Scale. So we can do Scale 5, or we could also do Gospel of Zacchaeus for 5, because that's Moon. But we'll do Stolen Histories to get Fear. So that will give us our 5 memories that we need to upgrade Hill and Hollow to the next level. So I think at that point we will go ahead and call it a day. We will keep this satisfaction for later, probably to upgrade either Resurgences and Emergences or Great Science and Great Scars. Might do it Great Science and Great Scars, because that one is primarily Grail, or we could do Applebright Euphonies. We could do Desires and Dissolutions. That one's still at level 1. Or no, that one's at level 3 now. But, yeah, so I think we're going to call it a day at this point. So thank you for joining me. If you've been enjoying what you've been watching, please leave a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more of this series, please subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for the next episode.